There's a couple of key trends that we need to think about. One of them I mentioned earlier, which was in terms of the technology, that the technology we're dealing with right now is going to be completely surpassed and really, really quickly. And if you think of the amount of time, effort, and energy that was spent on video technology, it really was a niche. Not everybody was using it. And then the advances in the last 5 years have been enormous. The advances, as I mentioned, in terms of asynchronous communications, enormous. So you take that and multiply it tenfold, and you're going to see what's going to happen over the next 3 or 4 years. So that's the first thing, technology advance. The second one is in terms of towns versus cities. And what I'd like to, I suppose, postulate at this stage is that towns will rise again. And, world-class people will move to smaller towns because of a lower cost of living and because of the higher quality of life, which I showed you earlier on. Like, you can actually earn, let's call it a city wage, and live a town lifestyle. And that is very attractive for people. And the towns and townlands and small villages that innovate quickly will attract that person and will attract that wealth. And that wealth will be put back into the community. So how are they going to attract those people? Well, what's going to happen is there's going to be faster internet connections, and internet connection will probably be as important as the road structure. You're going to see a better focus on schools, and you could have quite a number of rural schools that will probably jump ahead of some of the bigger city-based schools because of a focus on online learning and a focus on sort of distributed learning. And that's going to have a natural knock-on impact. And the 1s and 2s and 3s that are going to be brought back into towns are going to attract the 3s, 4s, and 5s. And it just takes that to happen. It doesn't require a large company to put a big, huge concrete box outside a town to make a town great again. It's going to be the 1s and 2s and 3s. And, I think most people would attest to the fact that they live where their work is. And I think what this is going to bring us is the opportunity to live where you want to and bring the work with you. And don't have your abode dictated to you by the job. I think another one is the home office. There's going to be an incredible professionalization of the home office space. Shopify moved everyone to what we call digital by default, digital by design, digital by default, about a month ago. So now the whole company is working from home. And one of the things that we did was we gave everyone a home office allowance immediately, $1,000 Canadian home office allowance. And what that really basically said to people was, this is your opportunity to make the space your own. And one of the most important things for all of us to do is to curate this little box, okay? Because this is what the world sees. And you have a lovely virtual background there. I've got my map of where I am, and this is kind of my secondary location. My primary location, I have a ton of Shopify logos on the wall, and I have my whole space curated, and I have a far better webcam and all that kind of stuff. And I've really spent some time focusing on professionalizing that home office. And this is the trend that we're going to see, where people are going to really, I wouldn't say bring broadcast technology to home, but you hear it even in the U.S. presidential election. I heard a commentary I read a commentary on the newspaper earlier on today, talking about Joe Biden's home studio. So and all of the major politicians around the world will be building in proper broadcast technology into whatever their home or remote location is. And that's how the world is going to move. So that professionalization of the home office has a number of aspects. Another aspect of the home office is going to be the need to have a space at home where you can get away. So it's not just a spare room. It may well be a self-contained unit in the yard, in the backyard. What we're seeing from home builders in Europe, and I'm sure it's the same in the US as well, everywhere in North America, these kind of self-contained rooms that are separate from a house, call them a man cave, a woman cave, whatever you want to call it, where people will actually be able to have that home office slightly separated from the home environment. That's going to take off, and that's probably the thing that will drive the professionalization of the home office faster than anything else. You look at what's happened in the last 15 to 20 years, and what companies have done is they spent a lot of money time, effort, and energy trying to make the offices look like homes. What we're now seeing is the reverse. Now companies are providing money to the employees to help them make their home look more like an office. So it really has seen that flip in the last 4 months.